Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, and in this video it's another episode of Rank the Tank, and in this episode we're going to be featuring tier 8 premium TDs. So at number 3 we are going to be looking at the Jagdtiger 8.8. Now as always I will show the equipment and the perks on the top right hand screen. So the equipment we're running is Vents, Advanced Gun Rammer, Advanced Gun Lane Drive, and Gun Rammer. So on the perks we will be going for Born Leader, Rapid Reload, Sixth Sense, Steady Aim, Silent Driving, Camouflage Expertise, Situational Awareness, Muffled Shot and Trap Mechanic. So the Jagdtiger 8.8, the good points of the tank. So it has preferential matchmaking. So in all fairness, kind of makes this a little bit unbalanced in the sense that it will never see tier 10s unless you are in a platoon. It does have good DPM. It's not like traditional tank destroyers, your high alpha, sort of hard hitting. This goes the opposite end of the spectrum and has sort of a good reload speed. It's got good penetration values as well, high shell velocity. Good accuracy and aim time. You've got a view range of 390 meters, which is quite decent for a tank destroyer. It's got good silver potential earnings as well. It's actually probably the best one out of all three at 155%. So that is something to bear in mind if you're looking for something that is a good silver maker. Obviously your black tanks and your crimson tanks like the Ragnarok and tanks like that obviously do make much better silver, but if you do have this and you're looking for a silver maker, then this does have that bonus. The bad points of the tank, in my opinion, you've got average gun depression at 7 degrees. The armour is very boxy. You'll see sort of the front of the tank, your superstructure is quite flat, which is sort of quite traditional for your German tanks. So when you come up against tier 9s that have good sort of high penetration conquerors and certain tanks like that, as well as tank destroyers, they'll more than likely just load the premium and they'll just aim for the cheeks of your turret, and they'll usually go for it without with very sort of little effort basically. It's a bit sluggish. I think top speed's about 38 kilometers an hour, but the power to rate ratio isn't great. Obviously it's quite a large, heavy, cumbersome tank, so it doesn't really feel that quick. So it can be a bit of a nightmare when you get caught out. Obviously turretless tank destroyer, but all three of the tanks will be turretless tank destroyers. There's a common theme here, which there usually is when I do my rank the tank, and that's what I've sort of focused on with the tank destroyers today. They are all turretless TDs. So yeah, its camo's not great because of its high profile. It's also quite prone to sort of engine breaking down. Even though you get penned in front, it can just sort of it just seems to hit the engine for some reason, and just it's got high fire chance as well at 20%, so it can suffer from that. And in my opinion, it's not my favourite tank by all means, if I'm honest. It's not one I particularly enjoy. So like I say, the great rate of fire does make it a fun tank to play, but I just do not enjoy sort of the sluggishness, the high profile, the boxy armour. It just doesn't appeal to me. Saying that though, however, I do go on to have a pretty phenomenal game in this replay here. And you can see I've already racked up 2.6k damage with 841 assists. I'm picked up my third kill now, and we're in a pretty even match game. Originally I went to sort of the usual tank destroyer spot, as you saw sort of at the beginning of the game, down in the corner on J0 there. But now we've sort of retreated back because that area has pretty much been overrun. And I'm down to 319 hit points here, and it's not looking that great, but I'm going to keep sort of plugging away. I'm trying to shoot the cheeks of the T28 prot here because I know I can pen that. I am having a bit of difficulty trying to pen though, but now he's gave us his side, and yeah, we're just gonna sort of try and make the most of that, and we do. Luckily he manages to get taken out by our friendly artillery. This is turning into quite a tight game. We are actually capping their base, but just as I say that, the artillery takes out one of the tank destroyers that was capping the base. Smart move in some ways, because the scores are quite tight. It's not a bad thing to try and go for the cap, but I've always been anti-cap because I just think it gives you position away more. Actually does more harm than good. I think 9 times out of 10 gives you position away, and usually someone's back to reset the cap and then take you out. Equally, if you are on your own, going for the cap just completely reveals your location and you're going to be dead sort of within a matter of minutes. So yeah, I've never really been for capping, if I'm honest, in this game. It's a shooter. I prefer to sort of do the damage. But yeah, that's my opinions on capping. Anyway, back to the game, and we've been quite lucky actually that this tier 7 T43, we bounced him, and this is where the armor isn't too bad. When you're top tier, it can stand up. You can sort of get some of those lucky ricochets if you angle it right. Like again, most sort of German tanks, the boxy armor, you have to angle it to make it to make it its most efficient. Now we notice here, I think that is a Grom that we're looking at. So yeah, this is going to be an absolute nightmare, because I know how good the Grom is. I didn't want to shoot there because I know the Grom has ridiculously good shell velocity, and I'm more than likely going to get taken out. So I'm just sort of being hesitant. I've got our friendly Drogon here, who I've decided I'm asking if he'll sort of I think if he'll sort of follow me. Yeah, there we go. So I'm issuing him sort of instruction to follow me, because what I want to do is I want to get to more preferential location. I want to lead these tanks into sort of like a trap. Artillery can't hit them where he is, so this is again sort of, I'm bringing artillery into play. It's 3v3, obviously it's still a very tight game, and I want to sort of get the high ground. I want to get into a position where we can be most effective. Artillery there, I have no idea how he killed that tank. Yeah, kudos to him, that was a very good shot if he fired that blind. So that also does us a favour, because it gets rid of a quick medium tank that has that is going to be quite dangerous in terms of spotting values. So we're now just left with a heavy tank and a Grom. We know how good the Grom is, so we need to bear that in mind. The Grom can definitely one-shot us. And I'm sort of communicating with my teammate here using the communication wheel, and you can see there that he's acknowledging what I'm asking. So I'm saying about defending this position. I'm also asking him to sort of basically be the spotter, and this is why I'm going to sort of play off the Dragon as such, and I'm just asking artillery to sort of help us where he can, get in a position hopefully where he can help us out. Now we see the Grom. Unfortunately we hit the Grom's upper plate there, which we're going to bounce. We need to be careful because we do get lit there, but we did get a shot into the side of him. Where the Grom is now, we're putting him into a difficult situation, because he needs to focus on either me or the Dragon. So luckily our Dragon is sort of doing the right thing here and setting up we're setting up a crossfire here. The Grom is now faced the Dragon. He's just fired and we just set him on fire, which is brilliant. That's some great RNG there, and between me and the Dragon we finish the Grom. And yeah, if I'm honest, I'm quite proud and sort of pleased with that bit of play there. I think that was sort of some smart thinking on my behalf, not to be big-headed. But yeah, I was quite surprised that we managed to pull that off myself, because usually I don't really pull off the great strats half the time. So yeah, that was well worked. We've just got this heavy tank now that is on 1 hit point, and we've gone for the HE because I wanted to try and splash him to get the kill. But however, that shot bounces off. Maybe we should have stuck with the APCR. I'm not sure. Don't know if that would have penned or not. But our Drogon is on 77 hit points now. So we got to try and see if we can take this guy as a HMH Cries to K, or yeah, Cries to K that we're facing now. So gonna try and line up the shot. I'm just getting close as I can to try and aim the shot a lot better. Moving in here, I'm hoping I can get a top gun, but luckily our Drogon manages to finish him off. And yeah, that brings an end to the first replay, which was quite exciting, to be fair. Usually the best to last, but yeah, that's a Jagdtiger 88 for me, which, like I say, overall I'm not a big fan of, even though I did have a good game. But we do pick up 5.8k damage at 850 assists with 5 kills, picking up the ace tanker in the process. And big shout out to the Drogon player as well. He played an absolute blinder, and the artillery for supporting us. Yeah, well played to those guys. So anyway, moving on to number 2, we have gone for the Yazi, which is the tier 8 premium tank destroyer, Chinese TD. So yeah, Yazi I've gone for number 2. For me, it's not a bad TD, more sort of my preference. And you can see we're running optics, camo net and advanced gun lane drive on this setup here. We've gone for Born Leader, rapid reload, 6%, steady aim, camouflage expertise, muffled shot, green thumb, situational awareness and silent driving. We've maxed out the camo perks as much as possible. So good points of the Yazi then. You've got some nice alpha on it, about 440 per shot. You've got okay shell velocity, okay penetration values, very good mobility. You do have a low fire chance at 12% as well, and you've got good camo when you are sat still. Bad points at Yazi for me is you've got the poor view range, aim time isn't that great, average accuracy can be slightly derpy as well at times, and you've only got 6 degrees of gun depression. So those are bad points, but overall I do think it's probably sort of slightly better than average. But yeah, for me, between the 3 tanks that I picked today, I think it's more my preference over the Jagdtiger, for sure, definitely. And you see there, just sort of, you need to be patient with the gun. You need to sort of make sure the gun is aimed in, because like I say, it will troll you if you aren't. And there we go, we've aimed in and we get the shot on target, and we managed to put a nice shell on the T-32, who gets quickly taken out there. Now we're going to aim at this Chimera who's sort of poking up the hill there, and yeah, he's now down to a 1-shot. But yeah, the thing I like about the Yazi is, the alpha's quite nice in terms of, when you're fighting tier 10s. Again, you've got that nice alpha that sort of makes it feel like you are sort of putting in the work. You're actually doing some damage to tier 10s, as opposed to sort of higher DPM guns, which don't just kind of like tickle the sides really. So yeah, when you're sort of bottom tier, you feel like you have a bit more of an impact in games. Obviously top tier is decent, it's quite nice, and yeah, it does hit hard. So we slap a very lucky shot into that Chimera there, who is quite hard pushing this bottom side here down the 1 line. Not a bad move, to be fair. You can sort of flank a lot of tanks on the hill, but he's been pretty hard slapped there, and we've managed to get a shot into him, putting him down to a 1-shot. I'm surprised he didn't sort of fire back. The armour on this is okay. I mean, you've got some sort of nice angles which you can deflect a few shots from time to time, but overall, most tanks are going to pen you. You just sort of hit the flat surface, and yeah, they'll be able to sort of penetrate, no problem. We see this Stritz farm now. We're going to overmatch this turret, no problem. So we just sort of shoot basically top of the tank, and it overmatches to go through. We're at 2.5k damage now. I should say we're on mines actually. I mean, you probably already figured that out, but yeah, we're on mines, and yeah, we just basically sat up in the usual TD spot. We played at Overwatch. This is probably the better spawn actually for tank destroyers, I think. So you've got much better Overwatch off the middle. You know, we got some shots into that T32, the Chimera, and you can essentially, you can almost stop the the push onto the hill there, which is the beauty of that spot. There's only 7 tanks left. It's still an even game because we're only 1 tank ahead. We're letting our brass push forwards now to extend the view range. We see this A44. The poor guy is sat on the hill. We pull the trigger prematurely. Now this brass comes out of nowhere, and I'm going to turn my attention to the brass if I can, because yeah, the brass is obviously quite a pain. But there we go, there's the derpiness of the Yazi, and that's one of the things that kind of lets it down, I think, and makes it quite frustrating to play. Is, you know, you just derp shells that, you know, are fully aimed in. It's just, yeah, it just feels very loose sometimes. But we do get a shot into that Jagdtiger P. That's picking up our first kill of the game. We're still sort of being a little bit cautious of that brass because we don't want to get caught out. We can take a clip off the brass, but we don't want the brass to get behind us and yeah, outflank us and manage to get more shots into our sides. So we are sort of being relatively cautious. However, there are only 3 tanks left, so you know, in some ways we can be a little bit more carefree, and we do get a nice shot into the side of that VK. I'm going to hopefully get another shot into the side. We do, managing to pick up the 2nd kill of the game and the final kill of the game, and that brings an end to replay number 2. So a bit of an average game, to be honest, with the Yazi. We only come 2nd place. We pick up 3.9k damage with 1200 assists, 2 kills, picking up the 1st class. So yeah, it was average game, to be fair. The SU done a good job of picking up plenty of kills, so fair play to him. So we'll move on to the final replay. So here we are then at number 1, which is featuring the Grom. That is my number 1 rank the tank showpiece. So as we get into this game on half your pass, we'll see the equipment I'm running, which is gun rammer, advanced gun lane drive, and camouflage net. And on the perks, I'll be running the usual born leader, rapid reload, 6th sense, steady aim, situational awareness, camouflage expertise, muffled shot, silent driving, and run and gun. Now, run and gun, you can probably think, is a little bit pointless on a turretless TD, so you could swap that out for, say, trap mechanic, potentially off-road driving, because the mobility is a bit sluggish. But the good things about the Grom is it's high alpha. That 700 hit point gun is just absolutely phenomenal. So the mobility is okay. It can feel a bit sluggish at times. You know, perhaps if you're sort of going uphill, your power to weight might struggle a bit. So maybe some off-road driving perks or things like that might help the mobility slightly, and also traverses as well. You've got okay penetration. You've got excellent shell velocity, 1600 meters per second on the premium rounds, which you will see shortly. I mean, I have featured the grill quite a lot on this channel because I am a big fan of it, and it's got good frontal armor as well, and it can, you can brawl if you're top tier. You can use that upper plate on the turret to your advantage. It can bounce a hell of a lot. It's got a real good armor profile. Yes, it can get penned in the lower plate and the sides, but if you just sort of face hug tanks, you will find that you will win the battle. And there you go. You can see tanks are shooting our upper plate, and we've already bounced 880 hit points. The bad parts of the Grom is the accuracy is 0.4 base. Obviously, you run your sort of gun perks, you can bring that down. The aim time is 2.7 seconds base as well. You've got a very long reload time, but naturally with the caliber of the gun, that's to be expected. And you've got a yaw limit on the gun arc of -5 +5 degrees. So yeah, that can be quite annoying when you're sort of trying to, if you're trying to aim a light that's sort of going full speed across the map, you do need to lead the shot in advance, and because your gun arc is not going to be able to keep up with it, so it can throw you off and it can be very hard to hit stuff on the move because of that. You have got poor view range and you've got average camo. You have got a high fire chance as well, and average gun depression of 7 degrees. Now I've listed quite a few bad points there, but I think this tank is just ridiculously good. I mean, look, that shell velocity, you just slap the shot in, you just poke over the ridge slightly, get the shot off, back up. As you're backing up, you're just keeping your upper plate revealed, so they're going to fire back automatically and they're just going to bounce off it because they're not aiming, they just RBRT, or if they are aiming, they're only going to see your upper plate and that will deflect their shots. So at top tier, this is very, very good. Bottom tier, I still think it can be effective. You play that traditional TD role, and you will hit hard. 700 hit points on a tier 10. It's no laughing matter. They will back off and they will feel that. So with tier 10s, you're looking at basically sort of free shotting for definite many tier 10 tanks. So if they get hit once, they're going to think twice about sort of poking or pushing your position. So we're on half your pass then. We've come to this middle section, we've done okay, we're at 1400 damage. The scores are quite even at 10 all. We've picked up a kill, we've bounced just over 1200 health, HP. So it's not been okay. At this point I am kind of just waiting for our team to spot, and I'm sort of asking, we need someone willingly to volunteer. I don't want to push out because I don't want to get caught out, and to be fair, this doesn't have very good view range, so I was kind of hoping that a medium with better view range would go and do the job, and that's what the Chimera done. Yes, he did get taken out. It is unfortunate he got taken out, but he managed to give us enough view range to light up some tank destroyers that are sitting at the back there, and you see that SU got absolutely deleted, threw a shot in there, and then he got followed up with another shot that killed him. So his death wasn't in vain. The Chimera, he sort of managed to get us some information. Now I noticed that the tank destroyer on our left is pushing up, and I'm hoping, there we go, manages to spot someone. What it also does is it pushes those guys out of position. If they think they're going to get sort of challenged or they're going to get lit, they will move. I was hoping I could get a shot on that SU-101 that was crossing, but unfortunately decides to sort of just turtle up behind that mound. I'm going to stay here and I'm just going to wait for this Roswell to push in and light some tanks up. I could have pushed in here, to be fair, and I think at this point, I've decided, I'm going to go in and support the Roswell. I'm going to go into a bit of a brawling mode here because I want to support the Roswell. He's pushed up, don't want to leave him on his own, plus I'm not really getting any shots off here, so it's time to move up basically, and I need to do that. Particularly if we want to sort of keep our gun in the game, we also want to support our teammates. So maybe I could have moved up to this position a little bit earlier, but the Roswell's done a good job of sort of taking out the tanks, or taking out one of the tanks on the corner here. He is down to one shot, and there is a full health SU, so again I was hoping to get here before the SU took out the Roswell. Now I'm in a bit of a sticky situation because there's myself and the SU. The SU, we're both full health, but the SU has got 200 less hit points than what I have, which, probably seems a little bit unfair on the balance of things, but never mind, it is what it is. We're going to go in and we're going to slap a shot into the SU-130, and there we see the Grom's downfall. going and trying to snapshot, shooting on the move. It's just not going to work. And now we are, kind of in a little bit of a precarious situation. But this is what I'm talking about, using your turret face to your advantage. And we've blocked shots. We just basically bullied that SU. That SU couldn't do anything about it, because we're just using our turret armor to our advantage. So you can brawl with this tank. You can, if you're in that situation where you're pushing, just push straight into the tank that's in front of you, because that situation there basically explains how good the turret armor is. Now the game has gone increasingly close here, and I'm asking our friendly IKV to follow us. I'm not sure if he's in the game or not, if he's gone AFK, I don't know. But we're up against a heavy tank and a charioteer. And it seems the charioteer has just taken out our artillery. So it's myself and the IKV. And by the looks of it, an IKV that is AFK. Which is not ideal. We're now being capped, but I'm not overly concerned. So I'm already making my way over there. They've gone out the cap anyway, which says to me that I'm going to be in for a bit of a slugfest here. Now I'm coming up to this ridge, and I'm hoping that I'm going to bump into the tank destroyer or the heavy tank soon. I've come down this ledge here because I sort of figured they're going to be in the base, and then they're possibly going to come up right. However, I think I've just sort of had a change of heart here, and I've decided, I'm just going to go up the top, because I think I'm going to take the quickest route possible. Still calling out to my friend. I just, I don't think at this point I've not gathered that he's probably AFK here, and he's not going to give us any assistance whatsoever. But then this charioteer comes up, and we can just go in and take a shot. That's fine. And we take him out, picking up our third kill of the game. Now what we've got is basically artillery and heavy tank left, and I just held off there because I didn't want the artillery to start firing at our position. There's potential that he could have just hard aimed at that corner, potentially got hit as we come down, so I lost the spot. And also I wanted to keep the heavy tank guessing where I was going to come from. Now I've decided to come up the left here, because I think he probably expect me to sort of go over the top, go over the quicker route. But I've got plenty of time where I can come up to the left here, and I think this position is going to be unexpected for him. So I'm going to have to climb this ridge here, which is going to be slightly annoying, because that's going to slow me right down. I activate my food to try and help obviously get me up the slope a little bit quicker, but also improve everything overall. We've been lit, but there we go. The heavy tank doesn't know we're there, and look at that, we just completely bounce him. He does manage to get a shot into us, which is even worse, but there we go. I've just decided, I'm just going to face hug him. Going to rely on hopefully my turret armor to help. I get a shot into the upper plate of him. I know I can pen that, no problem. We're bouncing off of his upper plate. We're bouncing from our upper plate, and there we go. We put him to a one shot, and we get rid of him for our fourth kill. Up to just under 5k damage as well, with 200 assists. You see we just got under 3k block there, and we've gone straight for the HE there to load up, because now all that's left is artillery. We know our friendly tank destroyer isn't going to get a. He's gone AFK. He obviously decided that we weren't going to win this match. More for him. Well, lucky for him, to be fair, because we'll spoiler alert, get the win for him anyway, because artillery isn't going to be able to do anything against us. So yeah, we're going to make our way over to finish off the artillery, hopefully pick up our fifth kill. And a bit more damage to end the game nicely. But yeah, the Grom for me, I've ranked number one, because you can just see how insane this tank is. I kind of think it's a little bit on the strong side. Some people will say it's overpowered. I don't know. There are some situations where I could say yes, it is overpowered. There's some shots that I've pulled off that are just ridiculous. Is that more luck? Probably. But yeah, I'd say it's a strong it's strong. I don't think it's overpowered personally. I don't think it's broken. I just think it is more on the strong side. It is sluggish. The camo isn't the best on. It's okay. So, you know, 330 meters I think still. And the accuracy can be quite trolly, as you've seen. But yeah, that upper plate armor and the shell velocity is just ridiculous. And there we go. We take out that artillery in one shot with the Hesh, or HE should I say, which is nice. And picking up our final kill of the game, the 5th kill, and 5.7k damage. So there we go, top of the board. A nice result and a nice video to sort of show off the Grom. And that is it, guys. That is it for Rank the Tank this episode this week. You see first class and high caliber we've earned there on that Grom. So yeah, let me know what you think, guys. I always appreciate your comments and your feedback on this one, because Rank the Tank can be a little bit controversial, and obviously it's a basis of opinion. It's my opinion. Everyone else's is going to be completely different. So yeah, if you feel that this ranking isn't quite correct, by all means let me know. And if you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe, because it always does help out. And I will catch you next time.